Hi guys, and welcome to this Shopkeep tutorial on how to add a new item. So the only way you can add a new item on Shopkeep is from the back office app on the computer. You cannot do this on the iPad register, so you'll have to be at a computer for this specific process. So today I'm just going to show you the very simple basics of how to add a new product. So it's spring right now and we're getting a lot of new products in, and one of them, as you can see down here, is a Fertilome 2020 water soluble 8-ounce fertilizer, and you can tell that's an existing one already just because it is in the system. So if you click on it, it kind of gives you some more background knowledge on it, and this is the screen that you're going to be seeing here in a second, but it will be blank. I just want to open this one to give you an example. This Fertilome 2020 water soluble 8-ounce with the period, it's a very specific name, which is what we want, because when we go to reorder, then we specifically know how big it is and what the ratio of the NPK, or the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium inside of that fertilizer is, and then the Fertilome is the brand. So that it gives us exactly what we need to know. And then you can see it's separated out by the department and then the category. Here's the automatically assigned SKU that it's given, which is what we use when we go over to the register. We don't do anything with this UPC over here. Here's that sale price, and then I'll talk to you more about this price type. As you can see, there's a drop-down box, which is super helpful when we need to change things. It is discountable, and then here's the cost per item. I'll tell you how we get this number and the sales price here in a minute as well. Our discount, or excuse me, our tax rate is already set for us, so we do not need to change that. And then we can change our current quantity when we receive a new product in as well. And then we don't really do too much with the supplier's item number, the record trigger, or the recommended order. So we'll go ahead and click OK, and we'll go add a new item here. So you're at the item list. On the left hand side, you can just click on it. This is the screen that always comes up no matter what. And you can go up here to add new, up in the right hand corner. It's going to open up this dialog box here in the middle of your screen with it saying basic item or item with variants. We are always going to do a basic item. We haven't really drifted into this item with variants quite yet. Maybe at some point in time we will. So under basic item, go ahead and click this create button. It'll take you to that screen we just looked at, but like I said, it's empty. So we also got in, and this is hypothetical speaking, but we got in a Fertilome 2020 water soluble 32-ounce bottle of it. So we're going to type in the Fertilome, and then it's a 2020, if I can type, 2020 water soluble . And it is 32 ounces. And year to year, the code after the end of the name will change. So 2017 had a period. Last year for 2018, we had a dash. This year, I'm not quite sure what that is going to be, but once I know, it will be updated in Trello for you. So we're just going to act like it was a 2018 one, and we'll do a dash. So then we'll come over here to the department, and you'll go down to fertilizer and chemical, whatever makes the most sense. So because this is a fertilizer, it obviously makes sense to put it under fertilizer. If we were to be selling a houseplant that we just got in, so some sort of a fern that can't grow outside, then you would put it under houseplant. If we got a new type of mulch or a new type of soil, it would go under mulch and soils. And then, like, if we got a nursery plant, so if it was a tree or a shrub, it would go under nursery. Or if it was a perennial, then it would go under that. If it's seed, sod, etc. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know, then click this general one, and then there's more descriptions under the category. So fertilizer and chemical for the department on this instance. And then here's that category I just mentioned. You'll also click this down, and you can do either bird, fertilizer, general, insect or disease, lawn. And then if you see this example, or if you see this where it has a lowercase w and an uppercase w, or like in the department it had a lowercase g for general and an uppercase g, always choose the one with the uppercase. Don't ask me why. We just haven't gotten the other ones removed yet. So this is a You could do lawn or fertilizer in this instance because it is technically a fertilizer. On that 8-ounce one, we did have it under lawn, so you can click that. You do not need to change anything with this UPC because we don't use it. We use the automatically assigned SKU number that Shopkeep gives us. And then over here at sales price, the way that our suppliers price their material, or how we would price our material, the two places that we buy from with this type of stuff already decides our sales price for us. So the one thing you need to have in front of you is the book that we order from like Prince or Foster's. It will already have that price for you and the cost per item in there as well. So I already have that number written down, and they're selling it for $9.99, and it is a fixed price. So the difference when you click this drop down box is fixed, at the register, or unit price. So fixed means that it's never going to change unless, like, at the register. It's always going to be $9.99 at the register. Unless, like, in the next year or so, Prince or Foster's increases their price, and let's say it goes up to $14.99. Well, you still don't need to change fixed because the price will never change. The at the register, every once in a while you might hear one of us, people who have worked here in the past, say open price. What that means, it's kind of a catch-all for if we happen to not have the item in the register. It's so we can get the customer out the door. We used to do a lot of open pricing just because there was so much inventory coming in that it was really hard to keep up, but we're trying to actually get away from that, and we want everything to be fixed or unit price. So that brings me down to unit price, and it gives you examples there. It says pound, ounce, and then etc. We also do like square footage. We can also do, I ran out of examples, just pound, ounce, and square footage are probably the two biggest ones that we'll use. So when we sell grass seed, it's by the pound. If we're selling sod, it's by the square foot. So if this was a sod example, then you would just click on unit price, and sod is $1.49 a square foot. So you type in $1.49, and then you would come over here and you would type in your unit, which I already typed in square foot before, so it comes up, so you can just do that. And then like you would enter in your cost per item if you knew that, or your cost per square foot if you knew that. But because we are doing the fertilizer, fertilome, or whatever, and I know that the price is $9.99 and it's not by a unit, then we're just going to leave it like this. It is a discountable product. Pretty much everything we sell is discountable except for gift cards. Unless we're running some sort of a special, then we'll let you know what you need to do there. So the cost per item on this example is going to be $4.59. So you'll type that in, and that just helps us decide our margins that we're making. And so then we'll come down. You don't need to change the discount or the tax rate. It's going to remain at 7%, unless otherwise it changes, then we'll get to that point and change it. So we're going to track the quantity on hand. So our current quantity, usually they sell them in cases of like 6 or 12. I'm not sure what size these, because this is a hypothetical example. So I'm just going to say that they sell them in a quantity of 6. So we'll just do that. And then we don't need to do anything with the reorder trigger, and we don't need to do anything with the recommended order or the supplier or the liability tender or the supplier's item ID at all. Once you've entered everything in, basically in the order that it shows on the screen, then you're pretty much done. So go ahead and come over here to the bottom right hand side and click save, and it will save here in a second. And you can see it says up here at the top in the middle, kind of a lightish green color, it says item was successfully created. So it still takes you back to this, but now the SKU right here shows up. And then like the button page, I've not done anything with the button page, so don't mess with it quite yet until we know what it is. But here's that SKU number. Sometimes I record that number on, or actually I do record that number on the invoice sheet, just showing that it is in Shopkeep, so then we can go and look it up. Really, the only number you need to write down is this 44149. The first part of it is always a 4 and 6 zeros, so that part never changes right now. So you're good here. You can go ahead and click OK, and it'll continue this screen or whatever. So if you want to go back to the item list, you'll come over here and click on item list, or you can add new if you know the product isn't in there. I always go back to item list, and if I don't know for sure if it's something that we don't carry, then I will go ahead and like search here. Like example, if you didn't know that we carried a product called Straw Tack, we do. We carry this Straw Tack sack, which is something that it comes in a, the air is removed from the packaging, and it's it has been cleaned, I guess, to not have any weed seed in it, whereas this like wheat straw bale, that's something that one of our workers here, he actually makes that at home. Like he grows the wheat and bales it and everything like that. The Straw Tack sack is sterilized, was the word that I was trying to think of. So you can see the cost on that Straw Tack sack was entered. Here's how much we sell it for, margin, markup, how many we have on hand, and then the total value that we could get from it eventually. So like if we were to type in that Fertilome that we just entered, here's that 32 ounce, here's that cost we entered in, that price we entered in, and then all the other fun stuff too. So you can just backspace this. I'm going to also show you how to delete an item real quick, because this is a hypothetical product. I don't actually want this in here, so if you have duplicates of something like that, or we're not going to carry it anymore, you can either change the active status or you can delete it. And so I'm just going to delete it, and it's going to ask you in this big red box, this will permanently delete this stock item. Are you sure you want to do this? And for this example, I do. So we're going to go ahead and click continue, and it will take you back to the item list page. That is the end of the tutorial for how to create a new item in Shopkeep. If you have questions, definitely ask. Thanks guys, bye.